So we're joined by Queenie Tan, otherwise known as Invest with Queenie, who has built herself an amazing platform of over 100,000 followers across all your social media channels, sharing her journey to financial freedom. This is the first time that we've spoken with Queenie on the podcast. We've been following her for a while now, and we're very excited to be chatting here in the studio. Her and her partner Pablo have just quit their jobs to focus on doing content full time. Must be very nice. We love seeing entrepreneurs do that. So congratulations and welcome to Get Started Investing.
Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I'm so excited because, I've also been likewise following your journey as well, listening to your podcast. So it's so nice to actually meet in person and it's just so weird seeing you guys are real people. Yeah. It's so funny.
Well, Queenie, Bryce wants to get as many TikTok tips from you as possible. But before we get into that, we're here to talk investing mistakes. So can you tell us the story of one of your biggest investing mistakes?
Of course. So let me take you back 2017. It was when I first discovered cryptocurrency, and I was in a bar with my friend and he was telling me about what he was investing in, and he was just like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. He just puts money into these crypto coins and he's just making these insane returns. And I was like, you've got to tell me what you're buying. What is this? This is insane. Because at the time I've been investing in ETFs and robo-advisors for a little while. But I was like, that sounds so boring. Crypto is where it's at. I can't believe I haven't done this before. So that night I set up a CoinSpot account and I started to invest in cryptocurrencies. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just kind of buying a bunch of random coins. I think my first investment was $100, and then I checked the next day and it was $110. And I was like, what? That is insane. And then I was just addicted. I was hooked. I was I did not have a strategy. I was just putting money in, and then suddenly I think I invested all up around $4,000, $5,000, and then by the end of the year, or maybe a year later, it was worth $20,000. And I remember seeing that. I was like, oh my God, I have hit the jackpot. And I was just thinking at this rate, I'm going to be a billionaire. It was insane. And so unfortunately, it kind of hit that high where my portfolio was worth about $20,000, and then it fell pretty quickly within 2 weeks. So that was, when the crypto market just really took a nosedive. My portfolio was worth about $2,000 after that dip. And, I was looking at it and I was like, no, it's not that bad. It's going to go back up. It will go back up eventually. So I think I waited about a year, kind of just did not really do anything. And then I was like, well, that was really dumb. What did I even buy? I did not even know what I bought. It would have been fine if I feel I would have had more conviction in my portfolio if I invested in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and just kind of stuck to those ones. But I just had a bunch of random crap that I was just what is this? I'm pretty sure some of them were just scams as well. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut my losses, take it out. It's been a year. Nothing's happening. Nobody cares about crypto anymore, whatever. And so I just kind of took it out, just invested in shares and whatnot. And so my lesson was I actually have since bought into crypto again because I really do like the space and I think it is exciting, but I'm doing it differently. One, I'm not investing in a bunch of random coins that I have no idea about. I'm just sticking to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And two, I kind of know the space now that even if it does take a nosedive and my portfolio falls by 90%, I'm not going to freak out and, sell all my coins because, I know that up front. I know how volatile the space is. So that is my story of my biggest investing mistake.
Nice. Well, at the time of recording, Bitcoin's at an all-time high, so you must be happy with that.
Yeah. Do you guys have crypto or what's...
Yeah. I've got Bitcoin, bit of Ethereum, and $50 in, what's it called? Shibu or whatever.
Yeah.
Bought it ages ago.
But he bought it at the top.
Bought it at the top. Literally put $50 in. Because I think at the time one of my mates was in Qantas and was just making a fortune.
He made so much money.
But Made a lot of money, but overtraded completely and just screwed the whole thing up. And so I put $50 in Shiba Inu just as a YOLO. If this goes like anything like Qantas, I'm going to be sweet. Well, it went the other way. But can't complain. It's $50.
It's always a worry when you can't say the name of your investment.
No, we're both in crypto. I think there's a platform that at the moment that we both use that you can sort of micro invest into it, which is good. And but equities all the way.
We actually bought some Bitcoin for Equity Mates, so we could say that Square, Tesla, and Equity Mates are the three big companies buying Bitcoin.
Nice, yeah.
No, but equities all the way for us. Stocks all the way. What is the biggest barrier that you found when you started investing, or perhaps one of the biggest barriers you're currently facing?
So I think one of the biggest barriers is just the lack of information out there. I think now it's like a lot better than when I started around 6 years ago. I just did not know that you could start investing with small amounts of money. So I thought that I needed to save up $5,000 and then that's how I could start. But if I knew that, you could start investing with $5, I would have started way earlier. And I know I already started quite early, but it's just like, it's crazy that people still think that you need heaps and heaps of money to start investing and you need to be really wealthy to already start. So I think now it's great, platforms like ours, we're telling people that you actually don't need a lot of money to start investing. I think that was one of the biggest barriers for me. What about you guys? I'm curious.
I didn't really have one.
Bryce isn't used to being asked a question. Biggest barrier, I think for me, coming from a family that didn't talk in investing in stocks was this. There's like such a knowledge gap, but it's also like knowing how much you need to know. Like similar to you, like looking back and realizing you actually don't need to know that much. You can just buy an index that has a little bit of everything and the market gets more productive and efficient every year and it generally goes up over the long term. I just didn't realize that was a thing. I thought you had to know like everything about a company and, really understand how the market works. Bought an individual company, lost everything. I've told that story a number of times. But looking back, if I could tell myself, you don't need to know everything. You don't even need to know close to everything. You can basically know nothing and just buy a little bit of everything and start there and start to understand it that way. I think for me, I would have started a lot earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. I think it's just that uncomfortableness talking about money. Like you don't want to look like you're bragging or you're showing off, but it's like, I think there's a way that you can talk to, your friends and your family about it without coming across like that, and I think the more that we can talk to our friends and our family about it, the better, because really then like everybody can improve their knowledge. Like we can all share ideas and learning. So
And I think you and Tash deserve a lot of credit for that, because like Bryce and I never talk about like how much money we have, but you guys are very open and like, you're really breaking down the taboo around talking about money. And so I give you a lot of credit for that.
I don't have any money to talk about.
Yeah, I haven't quite built up the courage to go on TikTok and do something similar, but maybe one day.
Yeah. I think it's good because it's like, I feel like we only hear about the people that have like crazy like millions of dollars, like he's a billionaire and you're just like, wow, never going to be like that rich. But when you hear about somebody that's like 25, like has $210,000 invested and, makes $10,000 a month, you're like, that's okay. That's not crazy, but it's pretty good, I guess, People are like, that is realistic, right? So, I think people can kind of relate to that, and it's just nice to be open about this stuff.
Bryce was going to lie. He was going to be like, look at my portfolio, I got $700 million invested.
You never know. You never know. Yeah, I'm 30 and I've got $1 billion invested. You can too.
So that was the biggest barrier. Looking back to, when you started, were there any myths or anything that you believed at that time that you've since realised were wrong?
Yeah, that investing is risky and investing is gambling. because I think that there are so many ways that you can invest in a safe way. Like, you don't have to be like I was, investing in cryptocurrency, having no idea, like, just that is not investing, you know? Like, that's what people hear about. They hear their friends like, oh, I lost heaps of money in crypto, and it kind of freaks people out because they're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to lose my money. Like, that's scary. But yeah, what I was doing was not investing, and there are ways that you can actually invest in a safe way. Like you said, ETFs. Yes, there is the potential for them to go down, but if you have a look at the returns from the stock market over the past 100 years, like, some years are negative, some years are positive, but the positive years definitely outweigh the negative years. And I think the most important thing is to just know that, some years are going to be negative, some years your portfolio might not be looking so great. But the key is to just have conviction in what you've bought, do research in what you've bought, block out the noise of like people talking about 10x returns on like the latest crypto coins, and just stick to what you know. And I think that when you invest that way, you will do well because you have conviction in what you've bought, and you can hold through those periods where maybe there is a year where there's negative returns. So,
Yeah, something that our generation I don't think has experienced probably as much as our parents, which is that, you know, extended bear run market. We've had some pretty significant flash crashes with the GFC and with COVID, but I think, you know, the markets have just ground it out and just keep pumping out massive returns. I think my fear is that too many people think investing is too easy now. Just put money in the market and it goes up. Stocks will only go up. But yeah, I think I couldn't agree more. It's I think one thing when I was starting as well is that, you know, there was that feeling of it's kind of been covered by both of you, but you know, you need to have some sort of an education in finance to really understand what's going on and understand the world of macroeconomics and markets and how it all links together. But I think it's been proven time and time again that people who are trained in it and are professional investors more than likely get it wrong themselves. 95% of fund managers can't get it right. And like, we're testament to the fact that you don't need to know or be trained in finance and that sort of stuff. So
yeah, so true.
We should probably clarify, just because you said 95% of fund managers can't get it right. They can't beat the index over the long term.
No, they can't get it right.
They still get a lot right.
Yeah. So, Queenie, you know, you spend a lot of time thinking about your own investing journey and making a lot of content. What would you say some of your best resources are that help you think through your investing journey and make all this content?
Yeah, so I have a list.
Great.
Nice, love that.
Because I just don't want to like forget anything, you know, and then it's like, oh, I should have said that. Okay. So YouTube. So if you're somebody who likes watching YouTube videos, I think New Money has great videos. So his name's Brandon, used to be called Aussie Wealth Creation. He's what initially kind of like inspired me to start my YouTube channel and like talking about finance online. And I think he just has some great resources and great insights. Instagram, I'm going to talk about kind of like the kind of content creator space and then more into resources. But sure. Tash Invest, Broke Girl Wealth, The Money Mindset, podcasts, obviously you guys, My Millennial Money, She's on the Money, TikTok. So if you're interested in property, there's a great account called The Valuer, and she's a property valuer, and she kind of goes through like property investing and just like interesting things. Tash Invests, The Happy Spender, has a great TikTok account where she learns about crypto. So she did this whole series where every day she would learn something new about crypto, and now she's like super advanced into crypto. And then she's like, I watch her videos and I'm just like, okay. I just do not, like, when it started it was like, this is what Bitcoin is, like blah blah blah, and I was like, oh yeah, I know this. And then like now it's like staking and pancake swap, and I'm like, I have no idea. And I think also for just websites in general, the ASIC Money Smart website has some really great resources, and it's very easy to understand. It's all written in plain English, like anybody can understand. They try not to use a lot of jargon, so I think it's really beginner friendly as well. And obviously the ATO if you want, you know, tax insights. But yeah, those are probably my favorite like content creators and resources in the space.
Nice. Well, shout out to our audience that you should definitely go and check out Invest with Queenie. That's your handle across all channels. Nice. Go and check it out. Plenty of great resources coming from your side as well.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Queenie, thank you so much for sharing your insights and such enthusiasm, I guess, for educating others in this space. Alec and I are such fans of what you're doing, and Pablo as well. And it's been great having you on. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, guys. It's such a pleasure to finally meet you guys and like chat. And yeah, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. And thank you guys for listening as well.
Nice.
Thanks, Queenie.